Hey all, J-Town here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at Okmin, one of my favorite guild boss heroes. We'll look at his kit, see how he works, how to build him. Yeah, but first, if you have not liked and subscribed, please do so. Just click down there on the link. Costs you absolutely nothing, and I appreciate it a lot. Help the channel grow. Let's get in there and take a look. Okmin. This dude is the Hellboy of Infinite Magicraid. Big meaty fire fist right there. Just cool looking, aesthetic. Looks like he's gonna cut you up, set you on fire, something. This dude is badass. So let's take a look at his kit and see why I like him so much in Guild Boss. A1, 100 attack damage to an enemy, another random 2 enemies, and a 30% chance to inflict a layer of burn or HP burning for 2 rounds. So it's not both at the same time, you can get one or the other. Alright? HP burning is a lot better than burn, but the fact that he can put down 2 different debuffs, that's pretty sweet. If you book it all the way up, it's going to go to a 50% chance and an additional 30% attack damage on each of those attacks to the 3 enemies. Alright, it's A2, 100% attack damage to all enemies and a 60% chance to inflict a layer of either one of those 2 debuffs, or dots, excuse me, for 2 rounds while refreshing the duration of all dot debuffs. This is why I like this guy. Right? If you're running a guild boss team with other dot folks like a bleeder, a poisoner, other HP burners, he is going to have a chance to refresh all of them. Right? So he just brings HP burn, he brings burn, and he helps all your other dotters keep their dot up. Like, the value you're getting from that is awesome. And then you can get it down to a 3-turn cooldown when it's got fully booked, and as well as up to a 90% chance to inflict that debuff. It's great. And then the passive, every time the enemy takes burn or HP burn damage, he restores 30% of his attack as HP. And if he's got a champion in the party that detonates the burns, then he gets twice the HP restoration. So that's pretty good. And then we've got his big boy hit, the Blade of Cruelty. Okmin attacks the enemy 5 times at random, dealing 100% attack damage every time with a 40% chance to inflict a layer of burn or HP burning for 2 rounds. Now this is pretty cool. If there's only one thing left, guess who's getting all the hits? And this thing can stack a few different turns of burning and HP burn, so it's pretty sweet. You can get the rate up to 70% once booked, and bring it down to a 4-turn cooldown. So the guy's going to have really short cooldowns. 4 is his longest one. All his chances to put the burn and HP burn is going to go to at least 50% or higher once booked on every ability. And he can refresh all dots anybody in the group has put. That is really, really great. Solid value. He's a legendary, so obviously it's going to take a bit to get those scrolls to skill him up. But yeah, I really like this guy. Alright, on his exclusive, the Alchemy Staff, he's going to get a higher amount of restoration HP on that passive from both just it dotting and ticking the damage or detonating it. At level 2, he's going to take 25% less dot damage and direct damage from enemies taking dots. So it's self-preservation. Neither one of these makes him do more damage or more utility. It just makes him a lot more survivable. But then you get to the Blade of Cruelty, right, which is big boy attack, and it attacks 2 more times. So instead of 5, it's 7. That's a big damage boost. So first 2 levels just make him a lot more survivable, and then level 3, he comes in with a bit of damage. In addition to, exclusive weapons just give you really nice stat boosts. So not too bad, but not a super vital exclusive kit. Like some heroes, their kit is vital. It changes dramatically how they function. This just makes him good to great. So now let's take a look at how we should build this guy. Right, this guy's going to go attack and support. You need the attack to get the damage off, plus he heals himself based on the amount of attack he has. So as always, we're going to take crit rate. We're going to take more damage to shielded targets, and we're going to take HP is full, you deal 6% more damage because he's got a good amount of self-restoration there. And then we're going to take Arrogant, damage dealt in the first round, 9% more. And then the less allies on the battlefield, the higher the damage dealt, up to 12% more. The reason we're going to take those 2 and not this one, right, is because he's dotting. He may not be doing the kill shot. It may be one of your other direct damagers who comes in and swipes through. So you're going to get less value out of that. Alright, so we're going to take Victory Rush for targets under control status. Damage dealt up 9%. And then the next two, you can go either way. There's no valid debuff. The damage is up 6%, but this guy is going to be debuffing all the friggin' time. For one every attribute debuff born, damage 3%, consecutive 4. This would probably be a little bit better because obviously the higher up in content you go, you're going to be taking some debuffs from the enemy. So I would take that. This is just going to give you a little bit more damage when, you know, things are debuffing you. And then obviously brave enemies when attacking targets with HP or more of 70%, 6% more damage. That's pretty key. And then I like to take this one, weak point, increases the damage by up to 6% when attacking somebody below 50%. So above 70% and below 50%, you're just doing more damage to everything. It's great. I tend not to take this because if I'm doing it correctly, I'd like to keep my heroes above 50% HP. So I feel like I'm going to get more value out of the other two. Now, normally we would take the 24% crit damage, right, for a direct damager. But for him, we're going to take the 30% mastery, right? Because he is a dotter, we want the most of his damage to come from dots. And if we're stacking mastery and hit effect chance on him, we're going to probably have less crit than a direct damage dealer. So this is going to have less value. Now, there's other trees, support. We're always going to take the hit effect if they have an effect they need to land. And then we're going to take meditation, which just in the first 2 rounds, so as you're fighting things with waves, it's going to make it so you get more hit effect and effect resist. When a stack of debuff is added, so anytime you're debuffing the enemy, you're going to get more speed. We're not going to take these because he doesn't do any shielding or healing to them. And when a buff is added, it's just none of these are really great, but this selfish one I think is probably the best for those support slash DPSers. This is a great one because he's a dot and he's going to be in dot teams. If every layer of dot debuff the damage source has, you receive less damage. Can be stacked up to 6 times. That's really great. If you're stacking up dots, it's a lot less damage you're taking. And so in this tree, I would almost recommend taking Beneath Notice and Hard Survival, right? As opposed to taking upgrade the Victory Rush for the other damage in this tier. I feel like you actually might get more value out of this in being more survivable, lasting more rounds, so that you can focus on building him more damagey rather than having to build a bunch of substats for survival on him. This one right here, I have seen it go both ways. Sometimes I feel like I see this work and don't work with dots, but it says attribute debuff, so there's a lot of translation errors in the game, so I'm not really sure which way they're going to go with that, but you could pick that one to try to see if it's going to extend your dots, but then this one is also just a way to get dots off of you after every round, which could be useful. And then obviously we're not going to take anything in this bottom tree because we took one in the attack tree, and you can only take one of tier 6 across all the trees here. So those are what we're going to take. And then how are we going to gear him? Well, obviously we want to land, right? We want to land our dots, and we want those dots to do a good amount of damage, and we want them to be quick. So the first aid set is a go-to, speed and effect hit. I love it. And within that, try to get more speed, more attack percent, and more mastery. Effect hit as well. And then for our other set, I have taken mastery. You're going to end up getting some great mastery set pieces from the campaign rewards as you're going through filling up those stars. Various sets that you get, but yeah, you're looking for more effect hit, more attack percent, and more mastery and speed, which we have checked all those boxes on this gear here. And then down here, you definitely want the mastery as the main stat on this first one, with some more effect hit, speed, and attack. And as you level up into your others, you want to definitely get those same things. You're always looking for mastery, speed, attack percent, and effect hit. And then after that, just other stats to make him more survivable, but you want him to fulfill his role. You don't want him to be weak sauce. Alright, so let's go take a look and see what this guy does in Guild Boss, which is where I love to use him. He can shine anywhere that you can make the dots work for you, but Guild Boss is what I feel like he was designed for. Go into a nice Conqueror level 2, kind of average for the progression right on the server. And we are going to put in here, we've got a Bleeder, we've got a Poisoner, and we've got HP Burners. So let's see what happens here. Alright, we're going to slow it down so you can actually see what's going on. Alright, so we've landed HP Burn, Bleed, and Burn. Still have yet to put a Poison down. Alright, so now we've stacked a layer of Poison on there, but he's about to take his turn, drop some of those off. But it got extended. Look at that. See, we're staying at some nice stacks of a lot of these debuffs, right? Because even if he just once or twice extends those debuffs, but then it allows the original debuffers to come along and put their dot another stack, all in conjunction works to just keep stacks of dots going all the time, which is the key to major damage in your Guild Boss. Do not underestimate dots. Not all about direct hitters just going crit, crit, crit. It's about keeping dots and debuffs up permanently. Now, obviously, I'm missing a really good attack booster from my own team, but this fight, we're just showcasing the dots and how Okmin really makes that shine. Alright, so now we're getting down lower in the dots because sometimes RNG just hates you, and he's not fully skilled up yet. Keep in mind that I do not have him even close to fully skilled up. We're not yet seeing him at peak. I've only awakened him one time. I've just put him in pretty decent gear. And a couple of skill ups. Alright, let's speed it up a little bit. Yep. It's keeping that burn and the HP burn up there. Juicy, juicy dot stacks. Gotta love it. We've got 4 dots going at any one time on this bastard. That's really nice. Right, even if burn isn't all that great, it's just another extra dot on top of the 3 big ones that we're keeping up, and it all adds up, as you can see right there. We're absolutely ripping this guy a couple of new buttholes. All right, as you can see, yeah, we just did almost 12.5 million to this dude. Yeah, that's a 1 key and then some. I'd say yeah, we did it. All right, y'all. Okmin, do you think he's great or not? I do, especially in Guild Boss. I can't wait to fully book this guy and just see how much higher I can get those stacks going, and bring in some other members for that team. Really love it. So yeah, get yourself an Okmin, build him. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm J-Town, and I will see you in game.